Dust motes danced in the weak ray of sunlight piercing through the attic's grimy window. Emily coughed, waving a hand to clear the air as she navigated through the labyrinth of forgotten treasures. The attic, a silent sentinel of time in her family's ancient home, held a strange allure for her. Today, it promised something extraordinary.
There, tucked under a pile of moth-eaten tapestries, lay a leather-bound diary, its spine cracked and worn with age.
She brushed off the dust, her fingers tingling with anticipation. This felt different, important somehow. Little did she know, this unassuming diary held the key to a secret that would change her life forever. Emily settled down on a dusty trunk, the musty scent of old paper filling her senses as she opened the diary. The ink was faded, the elegant script of a bygone era. She began to read, her heart pounding with each turn of the page.
It spoke of a life steeped in the grandeur of the 1800s, a world of horse-drawn carriages and candlelit balls. And then it happened. There, amidst the faded ink and the crumbling edges of the page, was her name. Emily, it read, "My Emily, if only these words could find you through the abyss of time."
A shiver ran down her spine. This wasn't a simple diary. It was a message, a desperate plea from a soul lost in time. Who was this man who claimed to know her, to love her, across the chasm of time? The diary's author, a man named James, wrote of their love, a love that defied the boundaries of their eras. He poured his heart onto those fragile pages, his longing palpable, his words echoing through time to reach her. Emily was captivated. She spent every spare moment lost in the diary's pages, each word drawing her deeper into James's world. She had to know more, had to unravel the mystery of their connection. Driven by an insatiable curiosity, Emily delved into her family history. She scoured old photo albums, her fingers tracing the faded faces of her ancestors, searching for any resemblance to the man who haunted her waking thoughts. Late nights were spent poring over historical records, each document like a piece of a jigsaw puzzle, slowly revealing a forgotten past.
She discovered that her great-great-grandmother had owned a locket, passed down through generations, that bore the same intricate symbol etched on the diary's cover. Was this a clue? Was this the link that bound her to James through the ages?
Emily's research led her to a forgotten corner of the local library, where she discovered a historian specializing in 19th century folklore. He listened with wide-eyed fascination as she recounted the story of the diary and the mysterious symbol.
According to him, the symbol represented a rare celestial alignment believed to create a temporal rift, a bridge between past and present.
Hope surged through Emily. Could she, like a character in one of her beloved fantasy novels, actually travel back in time to meet James? The thought seemed impossible, absurd even, yet she couldn't dismiss the yearning in her heart. Each page she turned, each detail she uncovered only solidified the inexplicable connection she felt with James. She learned of his passions, his dreams, his fears. He was a gifted artist, his sketchbook filled with charcoal drawings of her, or rather, a woman who looked exactly like her.
He called her his muse, his inspiration, the love of his life.
Emily found herself drawing comfort from his words, feeling an uncanny sense of familiarity with his thoughts and emotions. It was as if their souls had known each other long before their physical selves could ever meet. Fueled by the diary's clues and the historian's guidance, Emily delved deeper into the mystery of the temporal rift. She discovered that the celestial alignment occurred only once every century, and the next one was due in a matter of weeks. This was her chance. Her opportunity to come face to face with the man who wrote to her through time, the man she was falling for with every passing day.
According to the historian's research, the attic room where Emily had found the diary was believed to be the focal point of the temporal rift.
As the night of the celestial alignment approached, Emily felt a mix of nervous anticipation and unwavering resolve. She gathered the diary, the locket, and a few precious belongings, her heart pounding in her chest. Stepping into the attic, she felt a sudden shift in the atmosphere. The air crackled with energy, and the room seemed to throb with an unseen force. The once familiar space had transformed into a gateway to the unknown. The symbol on the locket grew warm in her hand, pulsing with an ethereal glow, guiding her towards the heart of the attic. Following the symbol's lead, she found herself standing before a wall that seemed to shimmer and distort.
Taking a deep breath, clutching the diary to her chest, Emily reached out to touch the wall.
A surge of energy pulsed through her, and then everything went black. When she opened her eyes, she was no longer in the dusty attic. Gone were the cobwebs and the faint scent of mildew. Instead, she found herself in a grand room bathed in the warm glow of candlelight, the air thick with the scent of beeswax and lavender. Emily gasped, her senses overwhelmed by the sudden shift in time and place. She was in James's world, transported back to the elegance and grandeur of the 1800s. The room was exactly as he had described it in his diary. Rich tapestries adorned the walls. A roaring fire crackled in the hearth, and the soft strains of a piano drifted from the ballroom below. And then she saw him. Standing by the window, silhouetted against the moonlight, was James. He was even more striking in person than in the charcoal sketches she had found in the diary. His hair was as dark as night, his eyes the color of the summer sky she had just left behind. He turned, and as their eyes met, Emily's breath caught in her throat. It was as if time stood still, the centuries melting away in the face of their connection.
"You came," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "You actually came."
Their first meeting was a whirlwind of emotions, disbelief, joy, and a love that defied explanation. They talked for hours, their words tumbling over each other in their eagerness to bridge the gap of time. He showed her his world, his art, his soul, and she, in turn, shared her life, her dreams, her time. The connection between them, forged across centuries, was undeniable. As the days turned into weeks, they explored the world together, their love story unfolding against the backdrop of a bygone era. Emily realized that their love was not bound by time, but rather enriched by it. It was a love story written in the stars, destined to be, no matter the obstacles of time and space. But as with all stories, theirs too had to end. The temporal rift, the bridge that had brought them together, was beginning to close. With a heavy heart, Emily knew she had to return to her own time, leaving behind the man she had come to love so deeply. Standing at the precipice of their goodbye, Emily realized that some loves are destined to echo through time, their melodies lingering long after the music has stopped. She carried James in her heart, his memory a beacon of light in her life. Their love story was a whisper through time, a testament to the enduring power of connection that transcended the boundaries of eras and the very fabric of reality.